You are listening to the award-winning WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois. A broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. You are listening to Streaming Verse with Chris and Nina.
Woohoo! That was my response today.
Woo!
The thoughts and ideas presented on the show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or its Board of Trustees. In my ASMR voice.
I love it. All right. It is June 22nd, 22, Taylor Swift. Haha. That's all I got.
You know, I have to say, and we haven't maybe this is our announcement for this at the beginning of our show. You know, you can listen to us on 88.3 FM here locally in the Palatine area or harperradio.com anywhere on the globe. You can also watch us on YouTube Live. You want to look for the Harper Radio channel. And if you do go to YouTube Live, we are requiring, okay, not really, that you interact with us and say something. Please.
Please.
Please interact with us. But the other thing I wanted to mention is we have an every other week show right now. I just realized this. We were on 2 weeks ago. And then last week, our show was interrupted due to massive heat here in the studio. And next week, we're not going to be on live because we are helping to promote and broadcast the live concert series that's happening here at Harper College, where Cool and Pink Squeeze. I was mixing the two bands up.
Squeeze
Okay
and
Squeeze.
Cool Pink.
Our new band name.
Yes.
We'll be playing live here at Harper College, and we want to make sure you stop by. It starts at 7 p.m., which is our showtime. So we're glad to give it up for them.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm very excited. I will be there. We'll sign T-shirts for a certain amount of money.
Yeah. Fundraising for the radio station.
Exactly. Oh, boy. All right. So I know it's been a busy week for you, but what have you been watching?
Not much.
Okay.
But I did finish all of Black Mirror.
Ooh,
so Black Mirror came out with its 5th or 6th season. It's been since the pandemic since we've had Black Mirror. And they never released many episodes. So there was only 4 or 5. It's not many episodes. I think it actually might be 4, but I can't remember, so I'm saying 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I've watched all of them. They are awesome. If you're a Black Mirror fan, rush over to Netflix now and check them out. The one thing, though, that's kind of a test when you watch Black Mirror, and you've only seen a couple episodes, right?
Literally
or just the one? Just the one. But there's always something to learn. So when you're watching it, you almost feel like, okay, what was the takeaway from this? What did I learn from this? And the very first episode is called Joan is Awful. And I'm not necessarily giving away total spoilers, but I'm giving away a little bit here. And again, suggestions to watch it. So Joan is Awful is really kind of about AI and terms and conditions. So this woman, Joan, is going to work, doing her thing, and she goes home, and her fiance decide to watch. It's called something else. It's not called Netflix, but it's like Stream Weasel or something like that. It's a Stream Weasel, but it's something like that. They decide to watch it, and while they're clicking through, they see a show called Joan is Awful with someone who looks just like her. And of course, it's the actress Salma Hayek playing her.
Okay.
They start watching it. It's literally the day that had just happened for Joan. This same day.
Oh my gosh.
So, and the part that I'm kind of giving away here, but not a big deal. So when she's trying to figure out what's happening, what's going on, they gave her a physical copy of the terms and conditions she signed or clicked when she signed up for the service. And it's like 3 inches thick. And they're like, no, you signed this away. This is completely legal. We've got your life because AI is everywhere. Everything is everywhere. So they have her whole life and they just do it. It gets much more deep and meta than that and very interesting, but highly suggested.
That's crazy.
Black Mirror. Yes.
All I can think of, though, is that I also know an awful Joan.
So you're like, I'm in.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah.
Joan is awful.
Yeah, put her on blast. Okay.
What have you been watching?
So, yesterday, Secret Invasion, the first episode came out, which is a Marvel series on Disney+.
I've seen ads for that.
Yes, and it's supposedly about Nick Fury, but Maria Hill was going to be in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all along, I'm like, I don't care about anything. I love Maria Hill. It's Colby Schmolders. I can't say her name correctly, but she's in How I Met Your Mother. She's
Yes.
Robin. I love her so much. She's one of my favorite Marvel characters, and I'm like, yes, because she got no character development. Like, she's in pretty much majority of the movies, if not referenced
But
in them.
very, yeah,
But, like,
yeah, two-dimensional.
exactly. There's not much story behind it unless you, like, go read the comics, which I have. But the first episode came out, and I remembered at, like, 11 o'clock last night that I had come out, and I was like, oh, God, I gotta watch this. So I turn it on, and me and my cat are, you know, chilling in bed. I'm watching it, and long story short, I cried myself to bed, and I hate Marvel. So
No.
I don't actually mean it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything because it's literally been out for a day.
Right.
But we will chat about this later because I am...
Well, in 2 weeks, it should be fair game.
There you go.
With the way streaming works.
Okay, so we're talking about Secret Invasion in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And there should be 2 more episodes out at that point. Yeah.
And I have also seen it, so I will be catched up.
You watched it?
No, I have been
you-
planning on watching it because I've been seeing the ads.
Got it.
So I have been, because I do like Nick Fury, because I love Samuel L. Jackson, anything he's in.
I liked him. I don't know about now.
Oh, no.
It's pretty wild, but I'm just gonna sit in a state of denial until next week's episode. So
Okay. Well, then I'm going to mention another show that I've watched, just a couple episodes. In fact, I kind of forgot I watched it because I was on vacation, went
Right.
away. And I'm going to talk about my vacation more later because I did the Twilight tour and I'm so excited.
you did not,
There's not actually a tour.
but you went to the places.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
We
my
went to
God.
all the places. We were in La Push, we were in Forks, and we were in Port Angeles. We did the whole Twilight thing, and I've got pictures that I will share, but I need to, like, decompress a little
Yeah.
bit from it.
I'm so excited to hear about this.
But, yeah, I was me and all the teenage girls were having fun taking pictures at the signs. Let's just put it that way.
I love it.
All right, so one of the other things I have watched, which is very interesting, and it's on Peacock. Do you have Peacock?
I do.
Based on a true story,
Ooh.
starring Kaylee Cuoco
Ooh.
and Chris Messina.
I don't know who that is.
Chris Messina, and you probably know who he is. He was in the Mindy Project,
Oh.
and he's been other things as well too. But he was Danny in the Mindy Project.
Okay.
The main guy. So it's based on a true story. So it's another podcasting. Like, I don't know if they're starting a podcast. It's podcasting, true murders, another take on all those things. Like, you know, only murders in the building. It's similar to that.
Right.
But it's Kaylee Cuoco.
I love her.
So there's your little pick-me-up. I just wanted to share
Yay.
that with you. But it's good. I do highly recommend it. And it is on Peacock.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I heard about that. I've probably seen ads for it, and I just didn't.
Yeah, and she doesn't look like she's not blonde, which is so
What?
weird to see her not as a blonde. Like, I don't think she's a true blonde in real life, maybe, or dark. She's probably dirty blonde.
Right.
Yeah, she's definitely more dirty than blonde. This one. New description. More dirty than blonde.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay. This one I saw in theaters, but it will be on Disney Plus soon
Okay.
because it's almost out of theaters. So I finally saw The Little Mermaid. And I was so happy. It was incredible. I cried so much.
Aw.
And it was funny because I got to the theaters and there's one of my brother's friends worked there, but he didn't have his name tag on. So I didn't know it was him.
Right.
So we both kind of stared at each other for like 3 minutes, and then I just walked away, and then I called my brother and I'm like, "Hey, does so and so work at this theater?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh God, okay, never mind." So then after the movie, I'm like sobbing, like it's you can tell when I'm crying because it's like everywhere. And I go up to him, I'm like, you're so and so, right? And he's like, you're Deegan's sister, right? And I'm like, Yeah. And I was like, why did I do that? Like, why after seeing the magical Little Mermaid
did you have to go up and talk to someone
Yeah.
who wouldn't have noticed if you never did?
Exactly. I could have just been like, oh, Deegan, tell him I'm sorry for being such a weirdo. Like, no. But it was so good. And I was worried, okay? I was worried because Flounder was so ugly. Because he looks like an actual fish, because it's a live action thing, so
right.
he looks like a fish, and I hate fish. I think fish are disgusting, and they are ugly, and just get out of my life, please.
I remember this. I remember the whole fish thing.
I hate fish so much. I don't know why they exist. Okay, sorry. I'm apologizing to all of my previous pet fish.
And let's apologize to all the pescatarians in the world, too.
I'm sorry. Sorry, but I hate fish. So, he's really ugly because he looks like a real fish. And so I was like, oh God, yeah, like exactly, like that's gonna be it. I'm just gonna see this fish and I'm gonna hate it.
Right.
But I didn't hate it. It was amazing, and the new songs that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote for it were so good. I cried like so many times.
It's good to hear you say that, because I've seen some things in the news that they're bashing it, and I'm not sure why I'm seeing the bashing news.
Yeah.
Is it because I've looked up things in the news and they think, oh, she's conservative, she'll want to hear the bashing news, when I don't want to hear the bashing news? I don't care about the skin color of a Little Mermaid, because let's face it, it's a fictional creature who has no actual skin color, so it doesn't matter if the Little Mermaid is purple.
No, literally. I don't understand why everyone was like, oh my God, you know, like freaking out about it. Like, she deserved that role. Like, she took Part of Your World up like 4 octaves, and I was like, oh my God.
That's so awesome.
There was like 4 people in the theater at this point, and there's a little girl dressed as Ariel like in front of us, and I was like, oh my God, I get to see Ariel with Ariel. And so I'm like clutching my chair, like crying, because I'm like so dramatic. It's a Disney movie. I'm in love. And the little girl's like running laps in the front row, and I'm like,
oh, that's so cute.
It was so cute.
That's so cute. I sorry, but I have to share something now. Has nothing to do with
Please.
movies. So you're talking about little kids. You're talking about what they do.
Yeah.
I was in line. I took the red eye home from vacation.
Yeah.
So I finally found one place that was open. There's nothing open in an airport after 10 p.m.
Oh my God.
So it's about 10 p.m. I still have an hour, and I wanted to get coffee before my flight to save really for the morning.
Yeah.
Would be getting off the plane and needing to be wide awake. And there's this little girl with her parents in front of me. And I'm looking for something to eat, and I'm gluten-free, so I can't eat a lot of stuff, and I really don't want anything big. And I'm like, I really want a Rice Krispie treat.
Ooh.
And I looked at the little girl, and I'm like, you look like somebody who would know this. Did you see any Rice Krispie treats here?
Yeah.
And she's like, no. She goes, but I have some in my backpack. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew you were a Rice Krispie treat person. I did not get any of said Rice Krispie treats, so I'm still wanting. But it was just like, how did I know that this little girl was the Rice Krispie treat person?
That's amazing.
So it was kind of like your, meta thing, like with Ariel. Like, I'm like, oh, not only do I want them, she actually physically has them on her, too. Her mom agreed with me. Yeah, she is the Rice Krispie treat person. The right person
so
to ask.
Cute. Oh my God, that's adorable. All right, stay tuned to Streamingverse. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. Yeah.
Hola, ¿qué tal mi gente? Que lo que te habla Yari from La Y ASMR Radio Show and Unknown with Jordan.
This is Unknown. Always stay positive and dream on everyone. Let's get it.
It's your girl Jordan. Tune in every Wednesday at 1 and for replays on Thursdays from 6 to 7.
Mi gente, acompáñanos para jugar Guess the Word and our daily affirmations that can lift your spirits anytime. Y ya tú sabes, mi gente, another day, another dollar. Súbele, Chicago.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Haley for WHCM 88.3 FM, the absolute raunchiest station for Palatine, Illinois.
All right. Welcome back to Streamingverse with Chris and Nina.
Fun fact, Matt, host of the B-Side, was talking
Yes.
about that promo on the air one day, and he was a little hot and bothered by Maybe it was the use of the word raunchy. Or maybe it was Haley and like the echoey room she was in.
Yeah, it's the echo that's sending me. The word raunchy is fine because if it's used to describe Chicago, like, yeah,
Right.
it's the echo chamber, man. Oh my god.
So, all right, first, I think I really need to mention this right now. The thoughts and ideas presented on the show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM Harper College or its Board of Trustees. Before we dive into our next topic, I just want to take a moment and talk about what just happened with the sub. The sub is actually the Titan, which no one's referencing it. It's just saying Titanic sub. So we talked about Titanic just 2 weeks ago, and I really feel connected to this because I've just seen the movie, and in the podcast Blockbuster, they went into in depth about what is happening on these submarines and how easy it is for something to happen. And if it's something somebody else wants to check out to get an idea about this, I would definitely recommend the podcast Blockbuster Season 2, where they get into some of this. Where even the first time James Cameron went down in one of these submarines, he went down 33 times.
What?
Yeah, so I didn't get into this all deeply when I was talking about it 2 weeks ago, but James Cameron actually is a scuba diver. He's trained and licensed, and he was so fascinated by Titanic. And like I mentioned, they had just discovered where it was, like 4 to 6 years before the movie came out, and he actually went on dives in these type of submersible subs, but they were very well made submersible subs. Let me just put it that way before we get into this. And so he went down 33 times. So he's pretty much an expert. And the first, in terms of like understanding the basic, not in terms of operating them or all that. But the first time he went down, they almost didn't come back because something slipped and they got under something. Even in how they described it in the podcast, even one little hole in that hull could have been a disaster. And that's something, I don't know what happened, but it has come out today that it imploded. And 5 people perished. A British businessman named Hamish Harding, a Pakistani businessman named Shahzada Dawood, apologize if I pronounce it wrong, and his teenage son. Suleiman, French explorer, Paul-Henri Norglet, again, sorry for the pronunciation, and Stockton Rush, who was the CEO of OceanGate, the company that was operating this. And James Cameron has already had a statement on this. Again, like I mentioned, he's kind of the expert at this. And he is blaming the tragedy on the OceanGate CEO who passed away. And people are expecting that he will get some pushback on this. And my sister is currently calling me. Apparently, she doesn't know I remember that I have a show Thursday nights.
Oh, no.
So my watch is vibrating. I'm a little distracted, and I apologize right now. All right. Anyway, so Stockton Rush, who also was piloting the Titan submersible sub, who also passed away. Some folks are critical of the OceanGate and Stockton for exploring 2.5 miles below the surface in a tiny submersible navigated with consumer product parts. And James talks about this. Like some of the things, this was kind of rigged together. And there's other people who didn't go on this because it was rigged together. And we've all heard about this, or most people have heard about this, and we're talking about this, and this is very sad. And so, I feel for all of you, thoughts and, light go out to everyone who is impacted by this and your loved ones. And of course, as if you've read about this, the CEO's wife is actually a descendant from 2 people, the Strausses, who perished on the Titanic. But we've all heard about this in the news for 3 days, if you've been checking the news anyway. At the same time, there is a tale of 2, there's another thing happening where there is a migrant shipwreck where hundreds of people may have died. This shipwreck, the ship was traveling from Libya to Italy, and it sank in Greek waters last week. Hundreds are still missing and feared dead, but we haven't heard about that.
No.
We only hear about the Titanic and the rich people who paid $250,000. I know this because it's been in the news. They've paid this much, and we all, oh no. And I think it's because degree of this. Well, what's happening to migrants, that can happen to any of us. And we're not as fascinated by that. But what's happening with the rich people, it's like, ooh, if this can happen to rich people, this could happen, and things like that. Kind of like reality shows, like our topic tonight. We want to see the reality shows where what can happen in this situation, what happened, like the Kardashians, the rich people, what are they? We're fascinated, but we're not fascinated by things that could, like the migrants, that could be us. We don't want to know about, we don't want to know about things that we could be in the same situation, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's too real. We almost prefer news to be separated. The same thing, like when there's a shooting, we want to find out the reason. If we find out it was targeted, we're happy. We're fine. Our brains go, we can put that away. That won't happen to us.
Yeah.
But hundreds of people on a ship, that could happen to anybody who's ever takes a ship. But this Titanic thing, it's like, ooh, but it's the rich. So I just found that like even fascinating that that's our topic this week. We're talking about reality shows and why we're driven to them maybe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is very sad in both cases, in both situations that this has happened. So from Streamingverse, we just send any positive thoughts your way that we can for your tragedies.
Yeah.
In both cases. All right. Now, on to a more lighthearted talk about reality shows.
Yeah. Do you watch any reality shows?
I do not. I have in the past, we're talking 15 years ago maybe.
Yeah.
I've watched American Idol.
Okay.
I watched, and I really hate to admit this,
Do it. What is it?
the one that our former president did?
Oh.
The Apprentice. I
Okay.
watched part of like the second season of Apprentice. I never even like finished a season because I was just like, I can't stand this person. Even then I knew.
Yeah.
And like I said, American Idol, that's really kind of it. Other than that, no. How about you?
Unfortunately, I've dabbled a bit deeper than you have.
Yeah, I when I was doing my research for the show, my thought was, oh, Nina can talk about Dance Moms.
Oh my god.
That was my first thought.
Yeah, so I don't currently watch any because I think they're stupid. But when I was younger, and I'm talking like 10, I was obsessed with Cake Boss.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple episodes. Yeah.
Let's see, what else did I watch? Oh, Wipeout. I was obsessed. I would come home every day from school, and I had a Xbox game of it, and I would get I would get like the crushed ice in a cup and put some like snow cone syrup on it, and I'd sit down and play the Wipeout video game for like the entire afternoon. So I watched that for a long time. I did watch Survivor, like not even a full season, and Naked Afraid, again, not even a whole season. I don't know what the point of that is.
I have a joke about Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
I would be very afraid to be naked on TV.
No, literally
so right
same.
there, it's like, there's no way.
The only reason I watched this, get this, in an Ellen interview, which again, this was a very long time ago, Kristen Bell was on the show, and she's like, oh my god, I love Naked and Afraid. So they put her in like a nude bodysuit and just like blew winded her, and she had to make a fire, and like I was like, oh my god, she's so adorable. And so I started watching Naked and Afraid.
And you're like, this isn't as adorable
I know,
as
I'm
Kristen
like,
Bell.
this is terrible. Oh my god. And I have, unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, watched a couple episodes of Dance Moms because my mother watches it.
Your mom's a dance mom.
No, she's not.
No, what I mean,
Well, yes.
she is technically, but that's the thing about reality shows.
Yeah.
You have to be a certain kind of dance mom to even make it on the show.
Exactly.
And that's not your mom. That
No.
would, she's a dance mom, but that's what's interesting about reality shows.
They're
'cause
not reality.
They're not reality. They're taking a certain segment of the population and going, okay, interview them. And it's like, okay, this one's crazy enough. This one's crazy enough. Oh, we'll get lots of drama out of this.
Yeah. No, literally. Oh, and then I watched my brother's old gymnastics coach. He used to be on American Ninja Warrior. But the funny thing is, his backstory wasn't tragic enough, so he would never get any screen time.
Oh, there's someone else I know from Palatine actually who tried out for that. I don't think
really?
they made it, but they tried out for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he had like a ninja gym like at his gymnastics place. And so like we'd try it, and like, obviously I was terrible at it, but it was fun. Wait, what's the other one? What was I just going to say? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Tell me.
I don't know. It's not. Oh, Queer Eye. I don't really know if that's a reality show.
So it's not a fake reality show. It's a real reality show.
And I think that's why I like it.
So, and that lends to my list that I made, which
Hey.
includes Queer Eye, Shark
Yes.
Tank, and RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes, RuPaul.
I think those would be positive reality shows.
Those are. I love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, because things have come out of Shark Tank, even if people don't win it, that are amazing.
Yeah.
Like I like all these products, like my product I was just talking to you about
Yes.
could have been like a Shark Tank thing.
Oh,
I'm not sure if it
definitely.
was. In fact, I feel like I need to Google that now.
There was a clothing line. Again, I'm not sure if they won or not, but it's in production. Like they're selling it. It's clothing adaptations for people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if someone struggles, if they're paralyzed or something, and they struggle getting on shoes, it like zippers down to the toes and then zippers back up, but you can barely see it. So it's
That's
like
so cool.
perfect. And same with like pants, and if they're in a wheelchair, like it's and you can't tell that they're like altered at all, which is really cool.
Mhm.
And there's like pants for amputees so that it's like more comfortable and everything. It's really cool. I can't remember who did that, but that was on Shark Tank. But they can also be so mean on Shark Tank.
Yeah, that's true. Same with like RuPaul. There is elements of
Oh my god,
reality
there's so much
show.
drama
Right.
in RuPaul, but
Yeah.
that's the fun part.
Yeah. But I think like I said, but at least there's positive outcomes.
Oh yeah.
And the truth is if they were pitching this to get funding from anybody else, they'd probably be dismissive of it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'd get some of that when you're doing a product.
Yeah.
So there is a comment here. I bought a foldable guitar off of Shark Tank.
My mother did do that. It was for my dad, and he still plays it because he's a pilot, so it's perfect for travel.
Right.
And he does carry it around with him. And it works. It's crazy. The neck just like folds down.
That's cool.
And then
And it's easy to, yeah. So
she
there's-
did buy that off
I know
Shark
there's so many products I have that are originally from Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, we've talked about one. Was that Squatty Potty?
Yes! Yes, we have. We have talked about the Squatty Potty. Was that really Shark Tank?
I don't know. And now that I said it out loud, but I have bought Shark Tank things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Rocketbook. I don't think they
Oh.
won though, but they went there.
Okay, everything we have is Shark Tank.
Seriously,
I guess.
a lot of things are Shark Tank. So there's a positive to the world from Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I don't see a positive to the world from. Sorry, I was going to say something. I'm going to redirect. From The Bachelor, Love Trip Paris, the Kardashians.
There is nothing
There is
positive
nothing.
coming out of that.
All we're doing is substituting like having royals with
No, literally.
rich people. Like the Kardashians, it's like, oh, look, she got famous from a sex tape. I could do that too. Yeah, no, you can't. It was very specific.
No, seriously.
And the farmer wants a wife. How many of these people actually get married? Apparently, though, there is still a couple that's together. Aaron Rodgers' brother, whose name I can't think of, was on The Bachelor, and he's actually still together and married
Oh
the
my
woman that he met
God.
on it. But, like, that's 2 marriages that worked.
Yeah.
There was like a Tristan, the first one.
Right. Yeah. Somebody from Chicago, actually, the first one. Yeah. And they're still together. But 2. How many seasons of Bachelor? Like 85?
Yeah, no, seriously.
That's the other thing too. They count seasons because they do so many of them. Like every series is a season. So if they in 1 year, and this was before streaming became what it is now, the way they counted it. So they would do like, I don't know how many episodes it is. Let's say it's 10, and they would do 3 episodes of 10 in 1 year, and that's 3 seasons. So they may have been an
Oh.
episode, on season like 26, but it's really only been around for like 5 years.
That makes sense.
the way that they do it. And
Yeah.
I'm making up numbers in case anyone's like, it's been on for more than 5 years. Yeah, I know. Because I keep hearing about it. I can't stand any of these things.
No.
And you have to be crazy to be on a lot of these things. You have to be very dramatic.
Oh, yeah. And you have to have a tragic backstory.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're done.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a break
Yeah.
and then have me explain to you the reality show I think you should be in? That one that should be created
Oh, no.
for you to be in.
I would love to hear that. I also have some for you. And also some that you would be terrible at.
Okay. I'd be terrible at all of them.
No,
but
literally same. All right. So stay tuned to Streamingverse. We will be right back.
This is Jeff, the driving force behind Dexter's Radio Hour, where every Monday and Friday evening at 6 p.m. you will experience the mind-altering force of genre-bending rock and roll. And whatever this is.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Streamingverse. Once again, before we get started, thoughts and ideas presented on the show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or its Board of Trustees.
Before we start into my idea of a reality show for you, actually the world.
Okay.
One of the things we were talking while that we were going through our PSAs about other reality shows, and one of them, and I forget which reality show this is, but somebody was binge watching a reality show. So let's say it was one of those like home construction ones or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, because she was and she's a nurse, because she was binge watching it, she ended up seeing this mole on somebody's neck, the host's neck, growing and growing and growing. So she contacted the show and said, you might want to get that checked out. Yeah, it saved his life.
I did hear
to
about
get that because she was binge watching it and it kept growing through every the season that she and saved his life. So that's kind of a cool aspect of at least watching a reality show.
Binge watch TV shows and you could save someone's life.
Exactly. Binge watching is good for the world.
Oh
all right.
my gosh. Okay.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
Okay. I have decided that this reality show should exist because Taylor Swift fans have just enough drama quotient in them to make this work.
Just a little bit.
But in a positive way, because I think they'd all be nice to each other. Oh, no, you really did it better. You go.
Yeah.
You do it better. So this is my idea. And the launching point, and by the way, if you take this idea, all I want is to be part of your show. That's all I want. So please make me one of the panelists or something if anyone takes this. Because of the snafu, Taylor decides that she wants to do something for her fans. Something very nice.
Oh, my God.
And so she decides to have a reality show where you get to come on stage with her at one of her concerts.
I would win. I don't even know what the challenge is.
Instead of it being like, small casting calls here and there, she would like blast it to everyone. Like, I want all my fans to take part of this. The first thing you have to do is answer 5 questions. So you answer the 5 questions. You're done. Millions of people are done. And then it gets narrowed down until you have about a couple hundred people.
Okay.
And at that point, there'd be local challenges.
Okay.
So there would be, things where it's like treasure hunts in your local area.
She would do that too.
Exactly. I am so Taylor Swift adjacent. I channel her at this point. So then you would narrow it down from like the hundreds to maybe only having 50. And at that point, it becomes more affordable than to have something more, localized and all of them working together. And it would be challenges, just like, American Idol. There'd be the groups challenges, there'd be the single challenges. And my idea is that at the end of these challenges, Taylor would go, okay, only one of you gets to be on stage, but all 100 of you who made the last round get to come to the concert, and I'll fly you in on my jet type thing. Whatever fits on her jet, I have no idea. But that is my idea, and I think you would become very close to winning it, if not being in the top 550 who were in it. And I think that's a good reality show idea, too.
That's a really good reality show idea. Can we get a producer on this?
Yeah, exactly. You can
Taylor?
you can reach us here, harperradio.com, send a message. You have all our socials, streaming _verse. Send me a DM. We've got you.
Yeah. Come on, Taylor. Get on this. What are you doing? That would be so fun.
Yeah, and I think you and Ashley would win. Ashley, too. She would be there.
Yes.
She would.
Oh, but then it would get down to the 2, and we'd be like, "No, you go. No, you
That's
go."
what I'm saying. Exactly. It would be the 2. That's and I think especially Taylor Swift people would have fun watching it.
Yeah.
But it would be good for families to watch and see people actually encouraging each
Yeah.
other. Oh no, you got this answer. You can get it. You got this.
It would be the lamest thing if you're like a normal reality TV show. You're like, "Are you kidding me?" They're like, "No, you go."
Yeah, the drama would be the crying.
Yeah.
Oh, she left this here. This is the sweater from this concert, and I love this. That would be the
The amount of tears I would spill on this show.
See, there's all the drama. There's lots of crying. Lots of crying.
Oh yeah, and just squealing. That would be me.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I can imagine the challenges too, like Taylor Swift theme crafts. And
Yes,
like,
exactly. And those hidden little words and everything.
like
What
who
is
can
this mean?
decode the music video fastest.
Yep. Yeah, and she'd come out probably have new music videos for it too then.
And new music, obviously.
And new music, right. Doesn't she still have more to re-record?
So much more, yeah.
See, right there?
1989 Taylor's version.
Let's go.
There you go. Oh my god. That's amazing. Mine are stupid now. I should have gone first.
Okay, what reality shows do you think I'd be good at?
Okay.
We'll start with those.
They're so out of pocket. Don't judge me.
Okay.
Okay, do you know the show What Would You Do?
No.
Okay, it's so stupid. They set up, like, I've seen clips on YouTube. You've probably seen clips. But they, like, set up these fake scenarios where, like, someone gets into a fight or, like, someone's saying slurs to someone. And they set it up in front of, like, real people and see if they interject. You would totally be the one being like, excuse me? Like, I could just so see you doing that.
I actually just saw a video about that.
Really?
And it bugged me because it was it wasn't that show, but it was that type of thing.
Yeah.
It was a setup. Some guy was scared to go down an escalator.
Mm-hmm.
And the man did you see this or no?
No, but it makes me
yeah,
think of you.
yeah. It was actually not an escalator. It was one of those sliding people movers, but downhill like an escalator. Same phobia.
Yeah.
So that's why I was identifying with it. So I watched it, and the man who stopped them was like, the exact words I don't remember, but it was a real person who helped him, and he goes, just remind yourself you can do this. I am Batman.
Oh.
It was like, that was so sweet. I am Batman. I can do this. I was like, that is the sweetest thing.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Yeah, you're right. I talk to anybody. I talk to the Rice Krispie girl. So if something
Yeah.
bad is...
Well,
actually, I also scolded a little girl for throwing a rock recently.
Chris.
It was a big rock.
Where was she throwing it?
So I was trying to go find a friend after our recording. We were working on something, and I went to go see if my friend was still there. She was at Spring Valley in Schaumburg, but she was getting ready to go. But I figured, I don't care. I'll just stop by, say hi.
Yeah.
So while I was trying to look for her, I was outside the gate. And there's this little girl who's talking to this little boy, and they're sitting on big rocks. Their feet are in water where there's other rocks, which were still like 5 inches in diameter. They're huge rocks in terms of like, there's little kids there.
Yeah.
This is not safe. So she throws one rock out of there. Oh, it's yucky. Ew. And throws it. And I'm like, oh, no. And then when she was about to do it again, I'm like, excuse me, you do not throw rocks. So, and the funniest part was, is I was leaving.
Yeah.
I forgot about parent drama, so I was like, oh crap, I really could have gotten in trouble with that. As I was leaving, her mom is taking pictures, and she goes, honey, don't throw rocks. And she looks at me, and it's like, so apparently I schooled the mother too, and I didn't realize.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But it wasn't like pebbles. Like if it was pebbles, I could have ignored it. But these were rocks that could have hurt somebody.
Hence why you would be great on this show.
Oh, heck no, this is not going to happen.
I could just so see it. I don't know why. Okay.
All right.
This one is dumb and it's kind of mean. So I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think you would be really good at Wipeout. Okay.
I don't know what Wipeout is, though.
What? You've never... Yup. What about... No, I don't think I can say that on here. It's kind of like parkour.
Okay.
But it's done over water. And there's like foam things.
Oh,
like,
I do know what Wipeout is.
Yeah.
I do know what Wipeout is.
Thank you.
We're all up to date. Yes. I've seen, like, in terms of like when you're flipping through channels, I've seen Wipeout. Yes.
So not maybe in terms of the parkour would you excel at this, but when you
fell in.
when you inevitably fall into the water, you'd be able to swim back really fast.
Exactly. I got this.
Exactly. And the people who are on it always like they have the most random stories. They're like, yeah, like I'm a middle school principal and he's wearing like leg warmers and like a headband, and I'm like, I could see Chris going all out. Just like
I'd be in my wetsuit. All right. We got this. If I fall in, I'm all good. Exactly. Yeah, neoprene swim cap. Yes. The hooks. I have all the gear. Neoprene. I even have arm warmers because I have a sleeveless sweatsuit.
Oh my
God. So I have
God.
Arm warmers.
Yeah. Okay. See?
And booties.
Okay, so I'm not that far off. That's what you would be wearing.
They should have that just for people who are totally okay with falling in the water.
No, literally.
And going, I can fall in. I got this part.
Yeah, and they're standing there. What I love about Wipeout is it's like there's like people who like, why, like who forced you to sign up for this? You know what I mean?
What bet did you lose?
No, exactly, because it's like a middle-aged dad who like clearly doesn't want to be here, but he's like, okay, like I got this, and then he like takes one step and falls, and it's so funny. And some of them try so hard, and then when they fall, it's so funny in the commentary. They're like, well, that didn't work. It's so stupid. Like, it just kills me.
And I honestly have to say, since you've put me in this position, I would be okay with that. I just, again, my vacation, we went to see the hole in the wall at Rialto Beach.
Okay.
Which is very cool. I'll share pictures when I share all the stuff about Twilight.
Yeah.
But you have to walk on slick rocks to get there, which scare me half to death, because if you fall, you're going to bonk your...
Yeah.
I actually bonked my head there. You're going to bonk your head, and you could, really hurt yourself. Yeah. And so, like, luckily with my son and stuff, I was following him. We were talking about the best places to step so it wasn't slick, and I was wearing boots, so I was fine. But with that, I would be fearless because you can't hurt yourself.
No.
So I'd be like, oh, I got to throw my body over on this thing. Let's go.
Exactly. I always wanted to be on Wipeout when I was little because, like, you're probably gonna get hurt because they're, like, covered in mats, but, like...
Right, but you're not gonna, like, injure yourself. No, you're gonna get bruised.
Yeah,
you might get a cut. Right, but you're not gonna get, like, again, rocks cutting your head open. Because that's all I could picture when I was walking on the rocks. I'm like, if you fall...
Oh, my God.
You could be dead. Jesus. I'm very dramatic. I'm afraid of escalators, so...
I'm afraid of elevators.
Right.
So... Yeah, you're saying you're very dramatic.
My emotion, the degree of what I add to any given thing. Like, what do I think is gonna? Like, I picture myself falling down an escalator, tumbling, and my hair gets caught in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. this is way off topic, but I text my friends this morning because I don't know why, I don't remember what the circumstance was, and I was like, guys, my brother just set a car on fire. And they were like, what? And I was like, well, I'm not wrong, but I'm being a little dramatic about it. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, the car overheated. And they were like, okay.
Was this on his trip?
No. He was at work. So we were able to get to, he's fine.
Okay.
He's fine. No. He made it back safely.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, he set a car on fire, and they were like, Nina, why are you saying this? And it wasn't entirely wrong or true, but
we have a comment here that I have to read. Backmarker Racing. Chris would be a wipeout stunt double for celebrities and high net worth participants.
What?
So they couldn't have to do it. Send me out there. I don't care.
That's like that one episode of Jessie. I don't think you've seen this, but Jessie, she really wants to be in a movie, and so she meets this girl, and she's starring in a movie. She's an actress, and she's like, oh my god, I want a part. And she's like, great, well, I don't have a stunt double, so go ahead. She doesn't know anything about stunts, but she wants to be in the movie so bad. She's like throwing herself off cliffs. This is a Disney Channel show, by the way. And she's like doing all this stuff. She's like, she like gets home, and she's a nanny, so like she gets home to the kids, and she's like in half, and she's like, hey guys,
I did it.
I'm in a movie. And then they find out she's not actually a stunt person, like, because they thought she was. Oh god.
If you're watching on YouTube Live, we all just looked out the window because lights just went off, and I think we're like, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
Sorry for those listening only on the airwaves. I had to share, because if you were watching, all of a sudden we're looking like, what is happening here right now?
Yeah. Oh, real quick, before we take a break.
Yes.
I also said that you would be bad at any cooking competition show, because you would just be like, why are you yelling at me? I'm leaving. Like, like I could see, like, what's his name? Gordon Ramsay being like, you're a peanut butter idiot sandwich. That's what he says.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, okay, goodbye. Like,
all right, I'm done. I'm out.
Literally. Okay.
Then don't eat it. It's not for you.
Literally. So, yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with Streaming Verse.
It's official. The Drone Technology and Application Certificate Program at Harper College has been chosen for the Federal Aviation Administration's Unmanned Aircraft Systems Collegiate Training Initiative. What does that mean? This program allows students to learn how to properly fly drones through online and in-person courses. Begin your journey to receiving your certificate today by signing up for classes at Harper College. Yes, I did say you could get college credit for flying drones.
Hey there, listener. Do you enjoy listening to genres like indie and alt-rock? Do you enjoy listening to bands and artists like Gorillaz and Spoon? Well, you are in luck, because The Die with Brian D has got you covered. My show features a wide variety of artists and bands to listen to. Want to tune in? Well, make sure to be there every Wednesday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on 88.3 WHCM Harper Radio. Radio done differently.
Sorry.
And we are back with Streaming Verse here on WHCM.
I was just like snorting the microphone because I'm laughing and I don't know what to say. And then I realized people who are listening must be like, what is going on in that studio?
I did want to mention one more reality TV show.
Yes.
And it is Jury Duty. And it is on Amazon Prime for free. Mm-hmm. And James Marsden, is that his name? Yeah, James Marsden is in it. And it's about everyone who has jury duty, everyone's basically a plant in it, but one guy.
Yeah.
And James Marsden is himself, but he's but of course an amplified version of himself.
Right.
He's like, do you know who I am?
Oh,
you,
God.
You don't know who I am? And the guy's like, oh, what have you been in? He doesn't really know who he is. And he goes like, well, what was he, like in X-Men? I forget exactly what he was in. And the guy doesn't really know. Well, apparently the show's over, and I really do want to watch this. And the guy who was in it, who basically, they set up,
right,
has been like the nicest person on the planet. Like everyone loves this guy. His name is Ronald Gladden. And I actually just saw an interview with him, of course, on TMZ, where they asked, like, what do you want to do? He goes, well, I don't really know what I want to do next, but it would, I'm looking at, at any opportunities. And he's just the sweetest man. Aww. And that reality show has gotten lots of raves, so it's one of the ones I want to check out. What do you want to be checking out in the next 2 weeks before we come back?
Well, I'm going to be watching Secret Invasion, and if it doesn't get better, I'm going to have a word with Kevin Feige. Sorry. I'm also probably gonna finish this. Wow, it's a good start. I don't even know what it's called.
How are you gonna watch it?
Hang on. The Sex Lives of College Girls.
Oh, yeah,
I started
that's right, yeah.
I'm almost done with the first season, and it's really good. So it's 2 seasons, so I'm gonna finish that up. Also in celebration of Renee Rapp's album coming out soon, which she's in it, so.
Very cool.
I love her.
I'm going to be watching The Bear, which was just released on Hulu. I think I saw part of the first episode today. I was like up really early, so I'm like, let's see what's on. I'm like, oh, The Bear is back. The Bear is basically based on the beef business here in Chicago. So it's kind of like has some local flavor to it. The lead in it, what used to be in Shameless, I don't know his name. And it's a really interesting show. So the second season just started, so I'm going to be watching that. And I think I might try to get caught up on Outlander. I haven't watched it for a couple seasons, but the current season just came out, so I was thinking maybe I will dive into that and see what's going on. Because we have 2 weeks. So
we do have 2 weeks.
I could maybe polish off a season by then. You know why we're not going to be here next week?
Yeah.
Why?
Because next week at 7 o'clock p.m. I don't know why I said o'clock. That's weird. Next week at 7 here at Harper College. I almost said Harper Radio. I don't know what school I'm at, apparently.
In the Outdoor Pavilion.
Yes, you can come to a free concert from, now I'm going to say it wrong, from OK Cool and Pink Squeeze.
Bring a chair.
Yeah.
It's out on the lawn. There's no seats or anything. Bring a blanket, bring a chair, bring some food, and watch this free concert. We will be broadcasting it here. Over the airwaves.
You can miss us, but
we'll be here too.
Yeah.
So we're going to be part of it in some way, even if it's just in the audience.
I'll take a guitar solo. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that.
We're going to bust our way up to the stage and go, we're emceeing this because it's our show.
Yeah. And I'm going to go, give me the guitar. And
let's go.
I'm going to play, what's the first thing you learn on guitar? Dun, 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 dun. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, or your ABCs?
No, it's like an AC/DC song.
Oh. No, your first song you really learned is Twinkle, Twinkle.
I never learned that on guitar. It's like a it's dun 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 dun.
I know the song,
not
but no idea.
I don't know what it is. I'll figure it out.
Do. I can sing it. I don't know what it is. Do you know what the first thing you learn on the cello is? Hot cross buns. What? Okay, we're gonna wrap up the show. I'm guessing tornado with the heat. Because something's happening here at the school. So thanks to everyone who was listening and or watching, and we will be back in 2 weeks. So keep it tuned to WHCM.
Stay tuned. Have a good dinner.